Hello, YouTube. This is Mr. Zero of Mr. Zero's Terror Ride. Comic, clown, social commentator, and boring talking head. Here to talk to you about questions. That's darn tasty. So you get questions. We're all asked questions. There are some questions that we can't answer, such as, what was there before the Big Bang? Is there ultimately some sort of higher power that started everything? Can you answer these things? No, you can't really honestly say that you know for sure on any of these things. You can come up with various theories. One of the interesting ones is the membrane theory. Then you've got the string theory. Okay, look these things up. Um, and you can have arguments based on those. And then you've got questions out there that are have philosophical answers, like which is better, to sacrifice yourself for the betterment of other people. Is that a truly noble thing, or is it more noble to fight for yourself and your individuality and set by example and help other people when necessary, or whatnot? You can't really be right or wrong with those types of questions. And then there's more pertinent questions that we don't have a direct answer to, such as like, what should we do about healthcare in this country? Should we privatize it? Should we socialize it? What would make it work better? Um, and then there's questions that are pretty direct that you can ask and you can get an answer. These are questions regarding history, regarding literature, things what color is that dog? Um, how tall are you? These are things that you can answer clearly. And then there are sometimes trick questions, like that old one that you used to do back when you were a kid. You'd sit there and you'd go to a friend, hey, let's say you're a bus driver and you're driving your bus, and then you start telling them about various people, various men, various women getting up and on the bus, wearing different hats, wearing different clothes, trying to confuse them as much as you can. So they're trying to pay attention to every little detail. And then you say to them, now, what is the color of the bus driver's eyes? And they sit there and they're like, I don't know. You're the bus driver. Your eyes are brown. Okay, that was a trick question. But you know what's not a trick question? What's not something that's supposed to confuse you regarding the history of this country? What's going to make you kind of skew when you're asked this question? Is going to make you skew the facts regarding a historical event. A question like this that was asked of Dippity Palin. This question was, and I'm phrasing it as close as I can to the accurate actual question, which was asked of her by some journalist. Could have been a journalist for the news, could have been a journalist for a tiny newspaper, could have been a vlogger, anything. He simply asked, what have you done today, and what do you plan on taking with you from your visit? That's when she says that she went and visited where Paul Revere grew up, and then started in this whirlwind little DJ playing of the facts. She opened her mouth, and what came out was a Rube Goldberg version of the truth, and she spewed this out to us, and we all went, huh? It was a nice little run-on sentence. He who warned the British that with bells that they weren't going to be taking our arms, and rode through the town. I'm not going to go ahead and say it again. I've said it enough times. But and this is the third video I've done on this. But she keeps on. She says on Fox News when Chris Wallace, which she is a paid contributor for, I just like to throw out there. She's getting paid by Fox News to be basically the new village idiot. Um, but she gets on there, and Chris Wallace turns to her and he says, you got some information regarding Paul Revere wrong. You were a little bit incorrect on your facts. She sits there, turns it around. She's spinning it like a DJ. Here's her spinning reality. 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 You spin it right round, baby, right round. She's sitting there respinning reality to suit her needs and saying that she didn't get it wrong, that she knows her facts, that she knows her history, and that when people come out with her with tough questions, that she will respond accordingly and look good, even though she didn't. She didn't answer candidly. She didn't answer correctly. She didn't wasn't even asked a question regarding the history. Someone didn't say up to her, so tell me all you know about Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. Tell me all you know about the life and times of Paul Revere. She wasn't asked that. She was asked what she had done that day. She could have said, well, I went to McDonald's and then took a crap, and then I went to Paul Revere Museum. She could have simply said that. She wasn't asked anything to do with Paul Revere. And as I said on another video, she could have answered, well, I had a very interesting day and I felt more American than ever while I went through and saw where Paul Revere grew up. And I saw his home and I saw the church in which he had the two lanterns hanging up, signifying to the colonists that the British were coming by boat. I wondered, I stood in awe, looking down the streets, thinking this is where he made that famous ride, where he was carrying the lanterns and warning everyone that the British were coming. And then I felt the fear that he felt as the gun was pressed to his temple, and he was told to give as much information as he could. And so he said, my name is Paul Revere, and I'm out to warn the Americans that you're coming, and I shall let you know that there are 400 armed American soldiers out there ready to fight you. But is that what she said? No. Now, what did I just do? I made all that up on the spot. Granted, I don't have a camera besides this one in my face, and I don't have kids pulling on me and saying, Mom, look at that. I want a donut. But I was able to give a dignified and semi-correct answer as the facts that we know them. She doesn't, and she could just own it up, yeah, but you know what? I went back and researched my facts. Now I know more, and I feel more connected. She could have done that. She could have admitted that she got a few things wrong, but she didn't. She made it sound like the guy who asked her the question was trying to trick her, that she got the information right, and that. And what's worse than all that, what's so much more terrible, is now Wikipedia has had to put a lock on their Paul Revere page regarding the life and history of Paul Revere because people have been trying to, like, back and forth, change information, trying to make Sarah Palin look right. At least that's what one can assume. I mean, maybe there are some Tea Party members out there, tea baggers out there, that heard what Sarah Palin said about Paul Revere, and then they go and they look it up on Wikipedia and say, well, that's not what Sarah said. I better correct that. Maybe there are people that dumb, but I really think it's more people are like, oh, no, they can't question her now if it's correct in Wikipedia. An editor and contributor for Wikipedia came out and said, anyone can add information that they want, but they do have to back it up. And he said that he was one of the first ones to shut down an edit citing that video footage of Sarah Palin talking about a historical event is not a sufficient resource, is not an acceptable resource to change the information. And this kept going on, so they had to put a lock on it, so no one could contribute anything. They're rewriting history. People are trying to rewrite historical facts. And I mean, it's one thing when you've got data to back up. Oh, now we know this information. As I did in my second video, there's some information that's come out about that night that we now know is true. It still doesn't change what Palin said. Oh well, I hope this is the last time I'm going to talk about this. Unless, of course, Sarah Palin comes out, Dippity Palin comes out and says something even more stupid about it. Then I'll have to vlog about it again. Because, to be honest, these last few videos that I've done have been some of my highest rated ones. And I hate that. I hate that I can't be more interesting and have better, better ratings on videos about my usual BS. I have to do like a semi-political video to get any attention on here, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. End communication.